Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
So much fun to hear that every time. Thanks, Andy Hart. Welcome, Steelers Nation. Another episode of Steelers Realm Podcast. JT back in the house after a week off. Celebrate my daughter's birthday, but glad to be joined with my main man, the one and only famous TA, jumping in. Where you at tonight, buddy? You on the road or what's going on?
I am on the road, but you know what, JT? I'm having technical difficulties. The fans can't see my beautiful face.
Oh, man, only half the show tonight.
Only half a show, but that's okay. They got the voice. That's the best half of me anyways.
There you go. That's cool. Yeah, so anyhow, welcome back, guys. I was off last week, but sorry I didn't get to jump in, but not a whole lot going on this week to chat about, but we'll try to have some fun with what we do know anyhow. So anyhow, producer, how you doing, guys?
I'm doing good. I got a haircut, so I'm looking good. I got to look good since TA isn't bringing his face tonight.
Okay. You're filling in.
Yep.
In the beauty. Yeah, the beauty spot. Okay. I got you. Anyhow, yeah, welcome, guys. Got any texters on the line? Looks like somebody just jumped in. Hey, Andy. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Yeah. Andy Hart. There he is, the man with the golden voice. Anyhow, yep. Appreciate it, Andy. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, man. So here we are, hostage for another week. And by the way, I'm outside. I'm out on the farm here. I still feel left out. But yeah, hostage again, once again.
Is that what we're talking at now? Or we're hostage? We're being held hostage.
Pretty much. That's kind of the way I see it. What do you guys think?
Look, I think I seen that meme out there about Aaron Rodgers, studying the JFK files, and depending on who he determines as the assassin is what team he's going to. Well, he must have already went ahead and got those done because Minnesota's out, Minnesota's in, Minnesota's out, Minnesota's in, Minnesota's out, Minnesota's in. I don't know where Minnesota's at, but they're in or out. Giants don't need anybody anymore, and here we are. You're right.
Yeah,
held
Steelers
hostage.
the last man standing in the Rodgers race.
Yeah. We need volunteers, not hostages, but yet here we are. Being held hostage.
Well, he did visit us for about 6-7 hours. Had a good meeting with us. That was Friday. Seems like he liked it here.
Watch some films where they sit around watching Ghostbusters and eating popcorn and stuff. What?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, the money does. It's all worked out. They were just getting to know each other. Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, and okay, so we spent 6 hours together. We missed the Michigan Pro Day. I mean, did we get a warm and fuzzy? Did we get invited to the homecoming? Is it going to be a double date to the prom? What did we get to know that we did not know already? That he's an egotistical son of a you-know-what.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the meme of him? He was meditating and he was like the Steelers or retirement. He was like meditating over the two.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know, man. All right, let's bring it up. The Cam comment, you all saw it. Cam comment came out again today, or was it today or yesterday or recently anyhow. And he's at it again. At first the comment was, hey, either you're Steeler, you want to be a Steeler, or you don't. So, kind of decide. So, and he also kind of threw some good words about Mason, too. I'm in the same boat, man. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Blow it up. You signed Metcalf for a couple years, so we should be good in a transition. we're already obtaining draft capital. Well, let's move on. Let's look for that next franchise quarterback next year. Position ourselves for that. So what? What if we go? I don't care if we go 6-11. I don't give a shit. Go with Mason. Don't be something stupid. You know what? Invest in some good draft picks and build this team up again. It can be done really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Look, yeah, you're right about draft picks because we actually are loading up on comp picks. We're getting a third, a fourth, fifth, and sixth so far.
So far. Losses. Yeah. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Thanks for jumping in, buddy. Good to see you.
Hopefully, we'll be able to trade out for a quarterback in 26. We have the capital to do it now, at least. It's looking like if we go to that route.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the scene is set for that. I mean, do we need to go through this? And bring all this into the locker room in a transition year, in a bridge year. Keep seeing that term too thrown out there, bridge year.
Yeah. Well, Jets did this and it didn't end well for them, so I don't know if you want to sign up for it as well.
well, look, guys. At the end of the day, I agree with you 100%, JT. I don't care about Aaron Rodgers anymore. Let's use this as a bridge or gap year. Let's go into this here, get the best available player on the board every round, no matter where it is, fill it in next year with our compensation picks. So if we have to trade something to move up to get our quarterback, we can make that happen. I think we're sitting in a good spot. Let's not be held hostage to Aaron Rodgers.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Rodgers is going to be a crybaby unless we assign him to a big deal, it seems like. So let's not meet his demands. We need volunteers, not hostages here. So
there it is again. Yeah. All right. So here we set. I mean, you guys feel that, like, you see one comment like, "Oh yeah, this, I don't know. This is old. We've been dealing with this Aaron Rodgers every offseason for the last 3 years.
Yeah, pretty much. He's always been the spotlight.
How about it, dude? Just retire. You should have enough money, for God's sake. Just retire.
Well, there you go. That's what I'd really like to see. Let's force his ass out. Let's force him to retire. You're gonna wait this long. You know what? You don't need to play.
Yeah, he's already, almost 42? He's a little bit past the retirement.
What's wrong with an ultimatum?
Yeah.
What's wrong with an ultimatum? It's all right, dude. I'll give you 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rodgers likes to, last this one out, make it take a while so the saga never ends. So we might be sitting here limbo for quite a while.
And honest to God, you guys think it's going to stop there?
No.
I mean, seriously, if they do decide, okay, well, they come to terms. I mean, I don't think I've seen numbers like 20 to 25 out there of their offer. Mm-hmm. I mean, have you guys seen anything to the contrary, or it hasn't been a big number?
No, that seems like what it is, similar to what Fields got, probably 20 plus, if I had to guess.
But that's what I'm saying. Look at what Fields got. Look at what Rush just signed. I'm telling you, I just don't feel comfortable giving this guy $30 million for 1 year. And if he can't commit to us right now, what makes any of us think he's going to be committed to us 3/4 of the way down the stretch when everybody's ready to make a push for the playoffs and or the Super Bowl? He could quit it on us at any given time. Is this what we really want?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's that injury thing, at that age. Is he going to show up and play a quarter and then get hurt again? I mean, I guess any player can do that, but I don't know. It just seems like a big number and a big headache for the whole entire organization, top to bottom, and bringing this guy in the organization. I mean, maybe he still has a little bit there, I mean, we thought we saw that in Russ early on until it came down to it, the last 5 games. And then something weird happened along the way there. I'm not going to blame it all on Russ, but just didn't seem to have it. The O-line was a sieve. Defense was a sieve. It just none of the pieces were fitting together. So it's a shame. I mean, the guy said and did all the right things, tried to make Pittsburgh his home for a season, and, he's got to move on, do what he has to do. Unfortunately, these guys at the end of their careers,
But let's face
their
it,
option.
he doesn't have it either, JT, in all reality. It's not there. Is he an upgrade over, or what is it, Tommy Nichols or whatever his name is out there in the Giants? For sure. He's a big improvement, but he's not going to get him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
No.
he doesn't really move the needle for them. So
Again, is this? I mean, are we seeing a lot of teams in that situation? Having to all these veteran guys moving from team to team, these names bouncing around is like these are all like bridge quarterbacks. You seeing that pretty much. We'll give you this guy and we'll trade this guy. It's like fantasy football. But I don't know. Let me ask you guys this: are we going to draft a quarterback this year? And if we do, how high up do you think they're going to go?
I tell you what, I've been looking at this thing a couple of different ways. I know they seem to be very high on Jackson Dart, all right? But at the end of the day, I don't know if he's first-round talent. And again, you want to talk about being held hostage? Are we being held hostage that we have to take this kid in the first round? I'd rather have Grant coming out of Michigan, and let's go ahead and bolster our defensive side of the ball on the line. I think we need to go in trenches. In round 2, we don't have a draft pick. So do we go ahead and make a conscious decision that George Pickens is out of here and on his way out? And I'm okay with that because I'd rather see us do that and then go ahead and pick up the kid Judkins out of Ohio State for running back. Then in the 3rd round, let's go pick up our wide receiver. Go find your wide receiver in the 3rd round, make that happen. But now we're talking the 4th round. Here's where things get interesting. Again, I've made it clear on this show that I really like that kid out of Ohio State. I understand he didn't have a good pro day or a good combine. Nothing about a pro day yet, but he didn't have a good combine. I get that. But I tell you what, anybody who watched the playoffs this year in college knows that kid came with an attitude. He was precise. He was hitting all of the reads in the throws, and he had a moxie about him that he wasn't going to lose. That's what I look for in a quarterback anymore. And as far as this Jalen Moreau kid goes out of Alabama, I don't need a running quarterback. I want a guy who's going to be able to throw, who's going to be able to run, who's going to be able to do all those things that we watch Patrick Mahomes do. If we want a quarterback of today, that's what we need to find. And then come the 5th, 6th, and 7th round, okay, let's go ahead and fill it in with the best available people. And then as far as I'm concerned, you run it with Mason. You got your quarterback in the 4th, whether that be Will or even Slow. I'm okay. Is it Tyler Slow or Slough or however they pronounce his last name? One or the other. And even if neither of those two work out, if none of them work out, you know what the good news is? Now we have a losing record. We're up at the top for next year's draft. We've got compensation picks. We can move forward. We go get our quarterback. And now we've got our backup quarterback now for the next 4 years as well, too. Let's build for the future. Let's not worry about going somewhere this year. Let's build for the future.
Hey, producer, we get some comments coming in. You want to get to those? You want to bring them up here?
Got it.
There, drop that off. Let's see those comments. When you get to
let's see.
Couple guys. Andy's on so far. Chris, good to see you again, buddy. We did that. Yeah, he's thinking Will Howard.
Yeah. Let's see. Wesley dropping a comment.
Yeah, how about Charles jumping in? Hey, welcome, Charles.
Yep. Hey there, Charles. How you doing?
Wilson too short. Yeah, we're used to having a tall QB back there, man. That's for sure. And that was tough. I think you saw a couple of those guys. Although we thought we had it in Mitch. Big, tall dude. Physical guy. No, we don't, TA, by the way. catching up on some comments here.
Chris agrees with you that we should possibly go Will Howard in third, TA.
I think right now, to me, that makes the most sense. Because here's what I like about this kid. Can you guys all name the last time you had a national championship quarterback who is not being talked about being drafted? Think about
No,
that. For
I
a
can't
minute.
think about it. No, not really.
I mean, to me, that seems a little odd. And here's the other thing, too, that we see time in and time out, especially in the NFL. And Patrick Mahomes is another prime example of that. Everybody, the pundits all say who the best quarterback is. You know, in that year, it was what, Sam Darnold. Well, let's see here. It took him almost 7 years, 4 teams to go ahead and figure out how to throw a football. Then you go ahead, you got Baker Mayfield, right? Baker Mayfield, where he's sitting at, he's sitting down there in Tampa now, finally become a quarterback. My point is that the 4th quarterback of that year was picked up and has turned out to be the best quarterback out of all of them. What's saying that the 4th best in this round isn't the same way? Why can't we find our Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Well, I hope, because I don't want to end up with a Pickett in the first round again, like last time.
No. And I mean, even if you look at the Browns right now are in the same boat that we're in. All right. Why is nobody talking about the Cleveland Browns? Why is
Because
it
they're
all
the second overall pick, probably.
why? Well, that's what I'm saying. But even with that second overall pick, I don't even think they're going to go after Shador, because Cam Ward's going to be the first one off the board. That leaves Shador. I don't think they're going to go after Shador. They're going to let it roll. And depending on what happens, they'll put Kenny Pickett out there as a starting quarterback. And I think they're going to wait till next year as well. They're not going to be held ransom. I mean, think about it. They're getting ready to plan for the future, which might be the smartest thing that I've ever said about the Browns.
The Browns being smart? Since when?
Exactly. That's my point.
Well, you know, your for initial statement kind of self-explanatory. But
yeah, well,
Browns are always the Browns.
well, I agree with your draft proposals. I'm a big fan of Kenneth Grant. He'd be that good replacement. We'd finally get a replacement for Casey Hampton, which we've been trying to do for several years now.
Yes.
The quarterbacks, there probably isn't a round 1 guy besides the top two, which we won't be in position to get. So that'd be an ideal way to go, and just wait till 2026 then.
Most likely the plan. So continue with your thoughts, TA.
So yeah, in the later rounds, we're probably looking at running back. You know, probably get somebody to help replace what Najee left, and it's a really good running back class. So if they could target somebody in that group, that'd be great. Could also, you know, upgrade slot corner. You know, maybe a swing tackle. You know, some needs that we could look at the later rounds, because we look at a guy like Fatanu with his injuries. It'd be good to have a backup behind him. Just some fill out the depth roster.
Well, yeah, you got to have youth behind you as well as some veteran. Which is a lot of what this offseason is, positioning for depth. You know what I mean? And then for incoming player development, and having the correct layers. This veteran goes down, this one's ready to step up, this one moves in. You know what I mean? Just that you need those layers. And for years and years, the Steelers were so good at doing that. They didn't draft for immediate needs. They drafted if somebody was on the board that, like, all right, well, this dude is a physical specimen and we can find a place for him. They're drafting, for talent and quality and the kind of guys they were looking for players. And, man, just love to see them do that. And I think this mediocre positioning all these years, yeah, I mean, it looks great. And you hear other fans talking like, you guys don't know how good you have it to be making the playoffs and having winning seasons year after year after year, and we have like a taste of it. And then we go like, 2-15 the next year, 3-14. And, and then we're going through these coaching carousels and everything else. And so, yeah, I mean, we do have it pretty good, but We still expect that from this organization, and just sure seems like there's been a kind of a slide, a little bit of a slide off since Dan left. I don't know.
Mhm. Well, you're right, because I saw last year, in a blink, our whole O-line was injured, and then McCormick's ready to step in. If you draft for the future, you can be ready in case, the unthinkable, the injuries happen this year. God forbid they don't.
Yeah,
Well,
really. I mean, you had all your eggs in that basket over there, and Faltano goes down right
Mhm.
off the bat, So
Yeah.
I thought
I'm
we had
looking
it all
forward.
figured out.
Yeah. Hoping he's healthy this year because we need him as our right tackle. Project as our left tackle, which I'm pretty excited about. Our line's shaping up to be pretty good.
but that's it. It's still shaping up. It's
Right.
still shaping up. Is it where we want it to be? If we look at this team from top to bottom, guys, are we actually saying right now we're happy where this team's sitting at? Because I know I'm not. I'm not happy with our defensive line. I don't think we've done enough to even bolster it. Offensive
Oh
line,
no,
I
we
think
we
we
fell
still have
apart at
holes
the end
there.
of the year. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yep. And so then you look at the offensive side, and again, let's get back to building the trenches. Let's build these trenches. And then how about this? We already know, even with DK Metcalf, is anybody here honestly can they say that George is going to turn the corner and he's worth $30 million a year, just like Stephon Diggs got today or yesterday?
Probably not. I think they'll probably trade him if that seems where it's headed to recoup their second round pick, like you said, possibly.
So then after that, we really don't have anybody. So we kind of need to look at that, especially for a quarterback of the future.
Well, and that's again, leading back to depth at that position. That's where we need to be continually developing those players. And at one point in time, we were churning out great receivers left and right to the point where we couldn't keep them all the time.
Yeah, we were a wide receiver factory. Hopefully we can
No
continue
doubt.
that.
I mean, we were hitting on all cylinders on wide receiver picks.
Yeah.
And then developing them. Like I don't know what's happened. We
And
keep trying to get rid of divas, and
we pick them back up again.
yeah.
Well, here's something else.
You know what? I don't care. I don't give a shit if George Pickens doesn't catch one ball all year long, but DK Metcalf comes in and just owns people.
It would be nice. And what if DK Metcalf comes in and owns people and Austin, or how about Roman Wilson, guys?
There you go. We talked enough about him.
Right. Will it click? Well, I mean, I know last year at the end, they said, well, the only reason was he wasn't NFL ready. They didn't feel that he was ready to hit the field. All right. He's now had an off season. Is the guy just a dummy? Is he going to be a bust? Or is he somebody we can actually look at?
I think this is the year we're going to find that out. I mean, it's similar to the situation with Calvin Austin.
Yeah, I'm hoping Roman can show some things. He looks like he'd be really great in the slot in that as an option. You've got Calvin as your wide receiver 3 for now. Another guy in his contract year, so interesting to see what they do with him as well.
And let's look at two other players, guys, and we've talked about these guys too. Either we go ahead and we upgrade our tight ends, or we develop our tight ends. But right now we got Mount Washington. That it looks like we're just okay, happy for him to be a blocker. And we've got Hayward, who we can't even figure out how to go ahead and incorporate him into this offense.
And use him. And yet, I'm still seeing clamoring for people saying, why aren't we using a fullback? Why aren't we using a fullback? Well, he was kind of the fullback / tight end role there. And we rarely used him at all for that. Or any other player for that matter. How many times do we see a fullback in the set?
Never.
And then let's face it, we had a chance to go out and get a true fullback this year. Do you guys know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
from San Francisco.
Yeah, he's a good player, man.
He absolutely, he's a good player, but we didn't bother to go get him either.
Yeah, we didn't feel like it. He went back to the 49ers.
No. And then the other thing is why does it feel like we still can't get the secondary right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It feels like we're just
still like
throwing darts at the board. JPJ had that sophomore slump. Darius Slay, you wonder how much gas he has left in the tank. You're hoping Bishop can take a step forward if possible. Our safeties look good though, at least. But
we added some depth, right?
Eccles and somebody else.
Well, and then we still don't even know. Here's my question. Let's talk about Corey Trice. Is Corey Trice who we thought he was? Or is this year in training camp make or break for Corey Trice? Because
I think you can put him in the bubble too, along with Roman Wilson. It's like a make it or break it year for these guys, for some of these guys.
Yeah, he's a question mark. He's just had injuries. He was out his whole first year, and then he looked good his second year, and then he just gets banged up again. So it's hard to say.
And is anybody surprised that we brought back Loudermilk?
No, I am not at all. No, not at all.
I have to say I am, because I would like to think that after 3 years, he would have developed into something, but it just doesn't seem like he's catching on either. And let's just be in his 4th year, he's going to have a huge turnaround, just like the Beard did in his 4th year.
Mm-hmm. He's not the only one I can think of.
Oh, are you thinking of Leal maybe?
No, beside he he made a killing on the other side of T.J. Watt initially before Highsmith came in.
Oh, Bud Dupree.
Dupree, yeah. There's another dude. What was it? His 4th year?
He broke out.
But let's face
it, in a big way.
But he broke out. But then again, he went for the money. And where's he at now? That breakout year was one and done.
Did he go Titans?
He was on the Falcons last year, I believe.
Yeah, but he went to the Titans, then he went to the Falcons, then he went to the Chargers. I don't even know where he's at now this year. But he's already on his 3rd or 4th team since he's left us.
Yeah. So
I think he tore his Achilles or something, and then
see that happening. Hey, I'm gonna throw another name out there. Cole Holcomb.
Oh yeah, he's coming back this year.
Is he? I mean, now that inside linebacker room is busting at the seams. Mark Robinson, I can probably say goodbye. Probably not going to be there.
There's another one. What is it? 3rd year?
Yep, 3rd year. Well, he'll be starting his 4th year, I think.
4th year. Yeah.
Yep.
So, another guy.
But at the end of the day, what was our weakness now seems to be we got more heartbeats and warm bodies in there than we know what to do with. I guess my point is, guys, is not to dog on him, but I guess what I'm really questioning right now is did Tomlin do enough in this offseason to put together a coaching staff to take these players and make something out of them? Or are we just looking at another year of rah-rah cheerleader style with a bunch of starry-eyed little boys hoping someday to play a man's sport?
Freeze with the Chargers. Thanks, Chris. I just saw that. Yeah. I am predicting. I'm going out here, but I'm predicting. This. I think this is Tomlin's last year. I don't think he wants to deal with a rookie quarterback, even if we do find that franchise quarterback. I think it'll fit. And I think you're going to have a lot of fans saying, you know what, just blow it up, move up in the draft pick naturally if you have to, do what you can to preserve the core of this team that you plan on moving forward with. And let's just just run with Mason, run with what you got, get a 3rd string guy in there. And so what? And let's put ourselves in a position like we are already doing. You're seeing it. We were talking about this, building up these draft picks and draft capital for next year, and just, go for it. Who cares? We don't need freaking Aaron Rodgers in here Do you guys think this team's going to the Super Bowl?
No,
I mean,
no,
really,
not really.
if we found the ideal pieces that we're looking for, you'd think this team is ready to go to the Super Bowl this coming year. Now, we can't say that. We don't know who we draft in. I mean, there's a lot happens after the draft.
Yeah, it's too early.
Seriously.
What you're talking about right now is a Cinderella season. You're talking that we just drafted Rudy in the 7th round, right behind Mr. Irrelevant, who all of a sudden came out of nowhere at 4'2.5" to lead us to the Super Bowl. And yay, what a heartfelt story. I mean, that's kind of what you're trying to put on the table here. And
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the real world. That doesn't necessarily always happen. So again, I'm okay. Here's the only 2 players that I really feel bad for right now, or 3 players if you want to put it in there. TJ, Cam, and Minka. They're wasting their best years trying to get to a Super Bowl on a team that is nowhere ready to make that step.
Well said. I think we need to end the show right on that comment right there.
We can do that.
Great way to wrap it up.
And if it's me this year, knowing that we're going to kind of tank it and knowing that Cam probably wants to be on that final run, maybe look at Cam and say, you know what, Cam, you're coming in on third down only. I want you to train whoever we bring in on the defensive line. TJ, I'm not going to have you blitz, buddy. Matter of fact, I'm not going to have you worry about chop blocks. You tell me when you want to play. We'll put you in there, and we'll just consider it preseason, all season long for you. And the same thing goes for you too, Minka, because there's no sense in trying to put you guys out there to get hurt when we're not ready to go. And there's no quarterback you're going to magically pick up. Rudy is not there. Rudy's not there.
Dang. Well, if we're going, what's up? I think you guys got disconnected.
No, I'm still here. I can hear you, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, well, you were saying how we won't find Rudy in the 7th round. I don't think that'll happen.
No. I think our only our best bet is let's just build for the future and call it a day. Call it a day.
I agree with you. You want to end on that note then?
Well, we might have to. Did we lose JT?
Well, we might have.
Well, I tell you what, we'll give him one more shot. But you know what, Chris, you might be right. If that's the case, then let's go for Igbuka in the 1st round. I don't have a problem with that either. Right now, where I'm
seeing that name.
It's Igbuka in the 1st round, and especially if we can get look, I'm not gonna lie, we get Igbuka, Judkins, and Will Howard in this draft, 3 from the national championship who've all played together, who don't need to worry about whining like a little Najee Harris and saying, "Oh, we're so young and I don't know why we learned. We had no identity. Oh my God, it was horrible. Incline knew more about inclines than I did." Come on, man. Anyways.
That'd be great.
Oh, well. You know what?
He regresses.
And we did regress. But hey, on a brighter note, I mean, I guess we went ahead and we picked up an offensive lineman this week.
We did?
Tell us about him.
Yes, we did.
What is it? Offensive lineman Lucas Smith of the Patriots?
Oh, yeah. All pro, right?
Yeah, sure. I think he was out of the league a year ago.
No sack, no tackles, no nothing, right? I mean, this guy's a stud.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's amazing. Whew. Yeah, I mean,
we don't need no stinking draft.
Right.
Yeah, who needs draft picks?
Well, you know what the good news for him is? We were talking about this. At least he lined up for fullback last year.
Ooh, that's good.
Okay.
Look at that. Everybody's like, really? We got an offensive lineman lined up for fullback? Really? I didn't know he played fullback.
Okay. Can you say refrigerator?
Whatever it takes to open up a hole, that's what we need. But anyways, Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this guy works out.
Well, gentlemen, I wish you a great week of being in hostage once again next week, the rest of the week. Guys, thanks for jumping on. And good to be back with you guys again this week, talking Steelers, even though there's always plenty to talk about with this team. Let's be honest. Always something to talk about. So have a great week. Careful in the hot tub, Steeler Nation. Boys, appreciate you, man. Catch you later.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.